and even during the transition phase. Now we find out that Governor Christie finally might have a position that he is really intrigued enough to take.
Joining us right now from the White House is Chris Christie, the governor of the great state of New Jersey, where I live. Governor, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, constituent Doocy. How are you?
Right.
Doing okay.
And the other two people.
That's right. I'll tell you about that pothole in front of my house a little later on.
Don't you worry about it. We're all over it, buddy. All over it.
I know it. Governor, let's talk a little bit about what's going on at the White House today. I know the president is going to have a listening session to talk about the trouble with opioid in this country. Tell us about the task force that you apparently are going to be on, and whether or not the president's going to sign an executive order on opioids.
I look forward to chairing this task force for the president. It's an issue that he cares passionately about, and so do I. Hey, Steve, you know the scope of this problem. In New Jersey, for instance, this last year, 4 times the number of people died of drug overdoses than died of murder. 3 times the number of people died of drug overdoses than died in automobile accidents. This is an epidemic in our country, and what this task force hopes to do is to look at the issue of prevention, obviously interdiction of drugs before they come to our country, but also, and very importantly, the issue of treatment. Addiction is a disease, and we need to treat it that way, and we need to give the people the help that they need to renew their lives and help become productive members of society and our families. We're going to be looking at all those things at the federal government level and what the states are doing, and come back to the president with recommendations about how to address this problem and give some hope to families who are being torn apart by this problem across the country.
Now, I know that's your #1 issue in your final years as governor, and now it's going to be for the nation. But, Governor, this dovetails with the other major issue, and that's health care. How do you give people who need treatment, oftentimes very expensive, who don't have the best insurance, the treatment that's going to keep them out of prison and out of the funeral home? Where does the money from that come from?
Well, listen, I think right now that the biggest problem is that we don't have enough beds. It's less about money than it is about getting access to this care and produce the type of facilities that we need to treat people in a way that'll be both aggressive and effective. And so we're going to look at a number of those issues as we go through this, Brian, and I think we're going to come back with some recommendations. We're doing things in New Jersey now that are really helping this problem. I want to bring some of those solutions and other ones from other parts of the country to the entire country and make those recommendations to the president. I have confidence that the president will be able to tackle this problem. Like I said, he cares about this personally, and he heard about it not only in the campaign trail, but since he's been president.
I know that you care about it from a personal standpoint, too. I know this hits home. I remember when you were on the campaign trail, you talked about your college friend. Why is this issue, the opioid issue, why is that near and dear to your heart?
Because I know that addiction is a disease, and I'm pro-life. And I believe in the sanctity of every life, and I believe that every individual life is a gift from God. And so no life is disposable. And the person who's addicted to heroin, opiates, other drugs, and their lives are falling apart, we have an obligation to save that life too, to give them a second chance. And so I think if you're pro-life, you need to be pro-life for the whole life. And that's what motivates me to want to be on the front lines of this issue.
Absolutely. Well, good luck with that. I know that's later today.